certified nutritionist, formerly Francis. Hey Tommy, what's up? Yeah?
Hi.
So you're a certified nutritionist, research assistant, is that correct? And
Yes.
how long have you been doing that?
So I graduated, I think 2 years ago, and then it took some time to get employed in Sri Lanka, and then I moved into research because I felt like learning, because nutrition is something where you have to learn constantly, and being in research, I'm learning something new every day.
Right.
And it's mostly towards public health nutrition, and I am a nutritionist as well. So I do that in the side, and then I work as a research assistant. That's like my main job.
Right. So what drove you towards learning nutrition? So were you doing chemistry and bio?
No, actually, I hate chemistry. The only thing I used to like studying was biology,
Okay.
and I wanted to go into like medicine or something related to that,
Right.
but not smart enough to do medicine. So I thought maybe I'll go into nutrition, because nutrition is something which is growing, especially now with fitness
Yeah.
and like taking care of yourself
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Nutrition is something which is really growing, and more research is coming into it. So I thought maybe it would be a good field to get into, and especially in Sri Lanka, it's still growing compared to like America, Australia, like other countries. It's something where it's growing and people are getting more aware of it and wanting to make some changes into their healthy lifestyle. So yeah, so that's why I wanted to get into it, and mostly to help people and bring change for themselves.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And you also have an Instagram page that I
Yes.
follow it too.
Yes.
So basically she, gives a bit of nutritional advice on it. What's it called?
It's called Nutriton. So
Nutriton.
I share my meals in terms of like what I eat and what's best in it. Because recently I became vegetarian, so it's mostly towards vegetarian meals. But yeah, just talking about how you can have a variety in terms of your daily meals and incorporate. I mean, even meat eating, it's fine, but like incorporating a variety in your nutrition, which
Right.
is very, very important.
Right.
Yeah.
It's an interesting fact that you brought up that you're a vegetarian now,
Mhm.
because we're actually going to be getting into a bit of a more extreme, I wouldn't call it extreme, but another form of a vegetarian
Yes.
diet, which is the vegan diet.
Yes.
And that's the first thing I want to talk to you about. And it's regarding recovery. The first
Mhm.
thing I want to talk about is recovery. So James Wilkes.
Yes.
And he was a former UFC fighter, and he tore ligaments in both his knees.
Mhm.
And I'm sure you watched the documentary
Yes,
Game
yes,
Changers.
for
So
sure.
he claims that the vegan diet actually speeded up. No, meaning like that was the only thing he changed in his diet,
Mhm.
and that helped him with the recovery.
Yeah.
But what do you have to say about that?
So everyone has watched the Game Changers.
Yeah.
Like, it's a documentary which is really talked upon, and people really, after watching that, wanted to move into a more plant-based
Right,
diet
right.
because of the positive aspects of it. In terms of recovery in a vegan diet, is, as he said, is positive, and in terms because it all comes down to the fact that we are adding a variety of plant-based foods into your meals, and that increases the amount of phytonutrients, which helps with like the inflammatory and oxidative stress in your body.
Right.
So it's more towards all like the science side of it, because as phytonutrients are chemicals which help has an anti-inflammatory properties. So
Right,
it
right.
helps
And
with
by
recovery.
phytonutrients, do you mean like phytates, like?
Not really phytates. That's part of it, but
Right.
like phytonutrients in terms of like flavonoids, carotenoids, like those stuff which you find in like
And
colorful
Right,
vegetables.
and they are anti-inflammatory.
Yes, the anti-inflammatory
Right.
properties in it. So that's what helps in terms of fast recovery.
Right, and they're found in like plants a lot.
Yeah, plants a lot. They're based in plants, phytonutrients.
Right,
So yeah.
right, okay. So that sort of explains a
Mhm,
lot about
yeah.
this. But what about the quality of protein that they're getting? Because like, what would you recommend, the quality of protein in meat or the quality of protein
In plants. So quality of protein in plants and meat varies, of course, because meat is considered to be a complete protein because it includes all the 9 essential amino acids. So when you take plants, it's incomplete because there's a few missing in terms of the essential amino acids,
Right.
which essential meaning that it needs to be taken in your diet. And there are non-essential, which the body makes up,
Right.
and that's what really brings up the whole protein in your body.
Right.
So when you come into quality, I would say that you can't really base one is more than the other. It really depends on the person and what they eat. Now, say if a person was to go into a vegan diet, they could go into a vegan diet, and there's always a misperception where people think, oh, I'm not taking enough protein,
Yeah.
but you can take enough protein.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just like people question the quality of protein.
The quality, obviously, that there is differences, but
Yeah.
then meat would be more of protein
Yeah.
and plants not. But you can't really say meat has more of a quality protein than plants. You can't really come up with that because the research shows now that you can't really choose one over the other. Like it really depends on what you'd want to eat,
Right.
and it depends on your lifestyle.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say a bodybuilder,
Mhm.
okay, fitness model maybe.
Yeah.
Like, would you recommend them a vegan diet?
Yeah, I mean,
the-
if
for
they
their
want
muscles,
to,
yeah.
if they want to, and they prefer in a vegan diet,
Right.
you can obviously build a vegan meal plan.
Right.
And the thing is, it needs to be balanced, and there needs to be variety in terms of making everything absorb into their body.
Right.
So it's not like there is no possibility. There is, but but it needs to be planned, and it needs to be well planned out. Like
Yeah.
as you saw the documentary, there are people like a lot of athletes, but their meals are planned very well
Yeah.
for them to absorb all the protein
Yeah.
they need.
Yeah, because like a lot of people that go into a vegan diet, like they say they're vegetarian, they say they're vegan,
Yeah.
they start off, but they don't know how to like cook. Like, what
Yeah.
they say they're gonna cut off meat from
Yeah.
there, but then they sort of revert back to meat
Mhm.
eating because they don't know like the other alternatives.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
to that replace
That's
that.
that's the thing. Like people don't really know the whole variety which they can incorporate into their
Right.
diet if they become vegan. That's why it's really difficult when they move back into meat. But it really just depends on the person. For me, especially like I'm vegetarian and I try to eat as much variety as possible.
Right.
It's a bit difficult, but living in Sri Lanka, which is a very like we have a variety of vegetables. When you like compare, like I had a friend in India who's like, I've never eaten this amount of vegetables that you eat, because she
Yeah.
goes through my nutrition page and they're like, how do you eat so much? We don't find all this here. And I'm like, no, like you can't. It's just there is produced, but
Yeah,
we're not made aware of it to
Yeah.
like consume that. Yeah.
Absolutely.